Good morning. This is Barbara A. Prokopich. I'm a conservative and outspoken against some of the things that are happening to our nation here in the United States, and I wish to make myself clear that I'm not personally against anybody, but the way our Commander-in-Chief is running things, and Mr. Biden, I have to say something. The Second Amendment and freedoms is being shackled right now and being controlled by the black market. They're using gun control as their weapon. Well, I think Mr. Biden is all wet, and Mr. Obama is just standing back and grinning and thinking, I'll get somebody else to do my work for me. Has anybody mentioned drug influence? That all these different young kids that shot up different places in the country were on the influence of drugs. Several of them, and yet it wasn't mentioned a whole lot. It was just kind of like, well, let's just look the other way. Like FBI Miss O'Toole, who said that governors of each state better do something because the weapons is out of control. You bet it's out of control if we have a black market that can come in where the young people can buy it. They don't have to go to a gun show. They can get it through the mail or get it through maybe it's a congressman that's crooked. Did you ever think of that? I want our leaders, too, to get something that they haven't mentioned anything about. Our political leaders, our senators, our congressmen, and yes, our president. How about taking a drug test? How about proving to us that your mind is clear and on the right track? If you're influenced by drugs, how in the heck can you run a country like this and call us free? And yet, Mr. Biden's running around saying, well, I'm going to rattle your chains. Well, who the heck is he? He's the vice president, yes. And he's saying if we don't do the way he wants it, or the way Mr. Obama wants it, he'll use an executive order. You know, people, if they read the Bible at all, it says in there, whoever strikes with the sword will die by the sword. And so these are fighting words in any way, shape, or form you want to take it. The Democrats are trying to bleed us right down to nothing and tell us, well, if we don't get any more free stuff, then we're not going to cooperate. We're going to do a filibuster or we're going to walk out. What kind of a life is that? America's supposed to be free. And we're supposed to continue on. We have an inauguration coming up. Oh, it's called Commander-in-Chief, or soon. Is that for the banks, the manufacturing, the freedom elimination, or is it a Muslim dialogue? I seen where that pastor walked out and said he didn't want any part of it. What? Because he was being told that he had to represent every religion? Yes, he can represent every religion, but that doesn't mean Mr. Obama should have his complete dialogue at the top. We are all free people, one nation under God, indivisible, and liberty for all. No, Mr. Obama is not my God, nor will he be in the near future, and he'd better get that through that thick skull. But again, I ask, how many people in the Congress and the Senate have actually taken a drug test? I don't care if you're not the same sex or you're living with another guy and you're a guy yourself. If you want to play those games, that's fine, but the wrath of God is on your head. And I just want people to realize what we got running this country. Yeah, they can call them funny boys or they can call them whatever they want, but it's the name of the game. And a lot of it comes right down to one word, money. Yes, the greed, all the Scrooges that are running in the Congress and saying, we got to up this, we got to do that. And all these earmarks have to be included. Well, take Miss Pelosi and find the nearest John and flush her down. Because the earmarks she's asking for do not need to be there. They can be under a different heading. Again, I repeat, take a drug test. Prove to us that you're clean. And document it. Document it so that we know that our own congressmen and senators aren't running around in the White House or at the Senate floor with a loaded pistol under their coat. You know, we're supposed to be a free nation, one nation under God and very peaceful. Well, it sure doesn't sound that way. And if they can't find a way to chain us or shackle us, they're going to try. The Second Amendment gives us rights, freedom of speech, and freedom to be in this country, to take the religion which we want. And now they're using fear tactics and saying the flu is going to get us and all this and that. Well, that flu has been there a long time, and a lot of people should get their homework done and realize the flu shot may not be for them. A lot of them have allergies. A lot of them have asthma, and they're just asking for more trouble. Our caregivers under Obamacare is not being regulated right. I want you to know that, Mr. Ryan and Mr. Bahammer and the rest of them that might be on our side. And Mr. Graham, shut your big mouth. You don't know what the heck you're doing. I have seen more things going on with you absent than ever. And I think you could just take a walk somewhere, in a corner or to the John room, and examine your conscience. Yes, we have abortion and different things that are working on. Planned Parenthood should be voted down. Because when it comes to abortion and babies, they should live. Their life is important too. How do you think you got here? Your life could have been snuffed out by a mother who would have cared less and had you aborted. So for you to say, well, we don't need you, well, there's something wrong there. America is a freedom country, and it's going to stay that way, with or without Mr. Obama, executive orders or not. So when he wants a nomination, he'd better watch how it goes. For the simple reason, a lot of people's ears and a lot of people's eyes will be on him constantly, the whole time. And if Michelle wants to sing a song, or they want to bring out a freedom of speech, that's great. But don't try to overlaw the American people. We have seen enough garbage. And the Democrats, yes, get off your high horse. Quit trying to bleed us and make us acceptable to UN genocide responsibilities. Well, we could end up in some gas chamber. I understand this wholly, and I want people out there to realize they had better get their ears open and keep their mouth shut and find out what's happening in our own nation. The other nations are in turmoil too, and this one is no different. Syria is overseas, but Syria could be right here in your backyard. And while there's a hidden agenda, the Democrats internally are bleeding us every single day, telling us, well, we know what's best for you. Well, I'll tell you what, the Republicans do too, because they've been here a long time. I may be conservative, and I may have views either side, but we're supposed to reach across and help each other peacefully. Peacefully. Can that be done? Can that possibly be done? The Second Amendment is freedom of speech for all people, all nations, indivisible, and liberty under God. So Mr. Obama had better watch his step. I want you to hear this. Arcadia Films, DreamWorks.com, Cloud 10 Pictures, EWTN, Saints Alive, January 26th through the 27th, A Pro-Life. They're going to have protests and demonstrations to show how important a life really is, even your own. ProphecyFilms.com, Illuminati, the end of the world. Yes, I am Grandma, 24/7, 7 days a week. I love you all, but you need to stay informed and find out what's going on. So when Colorado, Connecticut, California, Utah, Chicago gangs, and New York is crying, it's time to take your guns away, well, realize one thing. The word may not be guns. It may be drugs to start with. So, Mr. Obama, if you're wanting a nomination, you better be on the side of the people, because we're fed up with a lot of your rhetoric, and Mr. Biden can't do the job. If you're going to be commander-in-chief, do your job. That's what you were voted in for. And a lot of us didn't put our name down for you because we know what to expect. I'm asking you to consider what's going on in this country and forget about England and all the other places, because this country is important. A lot of men, 140 million people, have died, are bled in all the different countries, back south and out here, and east and all over the country. In Afghanistan, day by day there's somebody dying. Please, Do me a favor, say your prayers. This is Barbara A. Prokopich. I ask God to bless you and your determinations and your decisions. And if you have any value there at the White House, make your voice heard. I want everything to come out okay because freedom is so important to all of us, not just to Mr. Obama and Mr. Biden or all our people that we have in office. And the IRS is scrambling around to see who's going to run things. We need to get our taxes paid, and we can't do it because we don't know who's holding the gavel. Obama, get started. Do your job or just take a walk. I thank you. God bless now, and take care and have a wonderful day.